Hello friends, welcome to this live stream, and in this live stream we are going to give you very important management lesson that we learn from Mahabharata. Mahabharata is an epic, we all know that. Lot of learning, lot of teaching that we can gather by simply following some of the lessons that we learn from Mahabharata. I have been covering about some of these management lessons. Today I would like to talk about the very important management lesson, that is how to become a real hero. The key word, the operative word is real hero, not the hero, not a simple hero, not somebody who's just a hero. A real hero. What is a real hero? Mahabharata teaches us in lot of details. And as you know that Mahabharata was a battle for righteousness, and Pandavas in the end actually won. Even though Pandavas were less in numbers, they were probably less than half of the enemy, which is the Kauravas. In spite of that, Pandavas prevailed. They defeated all Kauravas. The Kauravas side completely died out after the battle, and Pandavas survived because they were on the righteous. They were fighting for the righteousness, and they were on the right path. So, how does this becomes a management lesson? Let us understand, analyze this particular incident. And we know that the Mahabharata was fought with Kauravas, and let's imagine for a moment if Kauravas would have won, what would have happened? Have you ever thought about it, that okay, now we know that the story of Mahabharata, we know that Pandavas won the war and they were right all along, right, for the entire life. However, if the battle outcome would have been something different, that is, Kaurava wins, it wouldn't be felt right, isn't it? Don't you think so? It will feel that something is wrong in the entire story, that the bad side won. But that did not happen. Why it did not happen? Simply because this battle was called Dharam Yudh. Dharam Yudh is basically fighting for their righteousness. So whatever happened during this 18 days period of Mahabharata, it was meant for destroying the falsehood, destroying the bad things, so that the truth can prevail. That was the whole idea of this battle. And if Kauravas would have won, that means the truth has not prevailed, and therefore there was probably a need of a second conflict after a few years. So that did not happen, and all the issues were sorted out at the end of Dharam Yudh. So that is why it is called Dharam Yudh, because Kauravas did not win. But for instance, why they did not win? As I said, that if they would have won, how you would have felt? Obviously, why they did not win, even in spite of being more powerful? They were much larger. They had many warriors with them. They had resources. They were the kings. So they had the control on the machinery, king's machinery. In spite of having all the resources, all the powers, all the best warrior in the universe, with Kauravas, they lost. Simply because, look at the character of Kauravas. What they were doing? They were actually playing victim all their life. They were saying that they are the victim of the situation, and that was their trump card. You take any incident today, the Kauravas basically saying that they are the one who are actually being oppressed, and therefore it gives them birthright to oppress everyone else. So that was their strategy in everything, every walk of life. If you read Mahabharata carefully, this is exactly what you feel. And when you read Mahabharata, you actually feel that something is not right what Kauravas are doing. They're always doing something which is wrong. And in the end, Kauravas became the victim of their own victimhood, because all their life they were playing that victim card. That is why a hero, a real leader, never calls himself as a victim. He actually accept his mistake. I think I will explain that in more detail. And now this is the one mistake or one bad side of the Kauravas I want to explain, so that I can move ahead and talk about the real management lesson, that is how to become a real hero. Now let's move on to Pandavas. What Pandavas brought to the table? Right from the childhood, they faced their challenges. They never avoided challenges. They actually, there is a saying that hold the bull by the horn. But if you try to hold the bull by the tail, what will happen? You will not survive. So you have to hold the bull by the horn. And that is exactly what facing the challenges. You have a charging bull in front of you, and you run away and you try to go from behind and hold the tail in order to control. That will not happen. You have to hold the bull by the horn. This is exactly the character of Pandavas. Right from childhood, they faced lot many challenges head on. They never avoided any challenges, and that is actually what is required in order to become a hero. The Mahabharata tells you that even though Pandavas were weaker, smaller, much less in number, they were they had the quality of facing the challenge. They had the quality of coming out with solution when you face a challenge, and that has been their upbringing. Unlike the Kauravas, who were always playing victimhood from the childhood. You take any incident from the childhood, they were always playing victim card. Whereas Pandavas were not playing any card. They were actually facing the challenges, and they were actually living in sometimes in forest, sometimes in very harsh conditions. But they were always facing challenge. That is the first lesson that we get from Mahabharata, and that was this characteristic of Pandavas make them different. Second thing is, whatever the case may be, Pandavas never looked away or ignored any issue. They never said, okay, fine, this issue is erupting in front of me, I will look at it tomorrow. They never said it. They wanted to sort out all issues without ignoring them. So that is the characteristic of a great hero. You don't want to basically leave anything unresolved. You want to resolve everything and move on. And this is exactly the upbringing of Pandavas. Everyone, all the five brothers and their side, if you look at their individual life struggle, you will see that all the Pandavas who were the warriors who were on the Pandava side, they had lot of challenges. They faced personal challenges, all of them. But none of these warriors overlooked their issues that they faced. They resolved all the issues, and that is why they were much stronger. They were mentally more stable. They had a lot of experience on resolving immediate issues as well as challenges, and that is how the characteristic of Pandava's side was shown in the epic. So what is the learning here? If you want to become a great hero, you don't want to ignore any issues. You have to resolve these issues and move on. The third thing is, whatever the case may be, whatever action you take, whether right or wrong, there are consequences. Whether it's a right, whenever you're resolving an issue or resolving a challenge, you must be taking an action. Otherwise, you can't resolve anything. You must be, forming a strategy. You must be going ahead and doing things. Whatever the case may be, the result is not in your hand. The result may be favorable sometimes, maybe not in your favor. And this is exactly what Pandavas faced. They actually bravely faced the consequences of their action. Never shied away from facing the consequences of their action. And that is the biggest learning that that Mahabharata teaches us, that if you don't face the consequences of your action and you run away, you will not be a real hero. You will not be called a hero. Your personality will not be a hero. You will not become a leader. You will not be able to run your company. You will not be able to do anything if you don't face the consequences. Whether it is right or wrong, that is not in your control. That is something which you just cannot control. The consequences you have to face at all the times. And therefore, when it comes to Pandavas, unlike Kauravas who were playing the victim card all the time and they were asserting themselves on everybody else, by playing the victim card, the Pandavas followed the modern, sustainable goal guidelines, which is you try, you fail, you again try, again you fail until the time you achieve success. So if you read Mahabharata, which was written almost 6,000 years back, this concept is very, very clearly defined in Mahabharata, and this is the characteristic of a real hero. So if you follow some of these learnings, that means three main things. Uh, Never shy away from facing a challenge, um, and also become a issue resolver. Never shy away from a impending issue which is in front of you, and whatever the case may be, for taking these actions, for facing an issue, resolving an issue, or facing a challenge, whatever the case may be, your action will result into certain consequences, good or bad or ugly. You also have to face these consequences, and that is the clear learning management lesson that we learn from Mahabharata. So friends, this is a great learning, especially if you are in business. If you follow these three simple basic rules of being a leader, you can actually outshine and become a real hero. So friends, do let me know what you think about this. If you have any comments, do share your comments, and I will catch you again very soon in the next one. Bye bye for now.